Just because the eclipse is over doesn't mean that the period of transformation is also over. If anything, this 1 to 2 week period after the eclipse takes place, which is hopefully when you're watching this video, is the most potent time to take the powerful energies of the eclipse and really catalyze, is that a word? Catalyze this energy into true change in your life. And this is why. Let's say it's like you're a surfer almost and you're waiting for that big wave, the wave that kind of changes your life and really gives you the best surf of your life. And let's say that wave knocks you on your feet, or I guess not on your feet because you're in the water. It knocks you in the water, it knocks the wind out of you, and that's it. You missed the wave, or the wave hit you. That's kind of like what the exact timing of the eclipse is. It's the most potent time when the most waves are coming, but it's not really until after that wave hits that you're really able to take the energies of that wave, or the lessons of that wave, and really turn it into change to make you a better surfer. That's kind of how I describe the energy of the eclipse, and this video will teach you how to do that. And so in this video, I want to go over, number one, how to identify what this eclipse energy meant for you, how to identify how it felt, how you perceived it, what it did to your thoughts, what it did to your energies, what it did to your life. That's the first thing I'm going over. The second thing I'm going over is then how to take that energy and to really turn it into power to change your life. Not just, I took this energy and I changed my life for 2 weeks and then I reverted back into my old ways. No, I want to teach you how to take this energy and really use it to change your life. If you're one of the few close followers of mine, then you know that this video is not the video I was supposed to be posting, but that's kind of relevant to the lesson that I kind of want to teach about this eclipse season, and I want to use it as the example on how to really identify what the eclipse season meant for you and how to sort of turn the pains or the swells of emotions or energies into true power. And if you like astrological tutorials like this, or even detailed forecast videos, which I do post very often, including a very detailed monthly forecast, please give this video a like and subscribe, just because it lets the algorithm know that this video is your jam, but it also lets me know that I'm doing a pretty good job and that I'm not wasting my time making these videos. And let's be real, I have Leo placements, so the validation would mean the absolute world to me. And so now let's get into the first part of this video in 3, 2, 1, go. First, we need to identify what area of your life was the main focus of this eclipse. And if you know your birth chart, you can look to the house that Virgo falls in for a major hint about this area of your life. You can start by asking yourself a few simple questions. What in your life are you nitpicking the most right now? This could be something very specific, like a project, your career paths, your talents, or it could be more existential, like a deep analysis of yourself or your purpose in life. And then next, ask yourself, what problem am I constantly trying to solve? What is on your mind a lot? This is especially relevant because Virgo is ruled by the planet Mercury, which is the planet of the mind, so your thoughts are a direct clue. And a lot of times, there are eclipse events that feel very out of your control, trust me, and this can feel helpless. So within this question, think about what is within your control, even if the rest is not. And then finally, ask yourself, what is burning you out? Or what are you mentally pushing so hard on that it is starting to negatively affect your physical or mental health? Because Virgo has a strong connection to your body, and so your physical symptoms of stress can feel very real, and they can be a very real indicator that should not be ignored. And so figure out kind of what's on your mind that's really causing this stress, or really pinpoint the source of this stress so that you can understand what this eclipse means for you. And to get a clear picture, you should document your answers, because it's kind of hard with the mental mumbo jumbo going on to sort through all the information. And so if you really write things down, even if you're just brainstorming, this will really help you to understand what's going on with your life at this time.
You could write it all down, you could record a voice memo talking it through, or even put it into images by creating a collage or a mood board. Spend a day or so on this. Really take your time. You don't need to rush the answer. And this can help you process this so that you feel confident that you've got everything down as to the what or the why for this eclipse. This is all you need to do for step 1, and this documentation is going to be the foundation for the next and most important part of this process. I'll give an example in my own life. You can probably hear my voice right now. It does not sound like it normally does. If you're new here, you probably don't know that, but this is not my normal voice. I have been absolutely killing my voice. I tried to make a lot of videos before my trip to Poland, which really took a toll on my voice because, I also have a 9-to-5 job. I have to talk a lot in my everyday life. And when I was pushing to get these videos out, I really killed my voice. And then in one of the videos that I was meant to post, actually the video that I was meant to post instead of this one, I absolutely, all of my video files were corrupt. Nothing was working properly. And this was a long video. And so I had the choice. Do I record another 1 or 2 hours and absolutely shoot my voice and sacrifice my health and my well-being? Or do I shoot a much simpler video, something a lot shorter, it'll be easier on my voice, but it is equally as oh, sorry, my voice hurts. See, it's already happening, but it's equally as helpful. And that was the choice I had to make because I am such a perfectionist. I am a big perfectionist in my life, and it was really hard to let going against my schedule go. And so I had to make the choice that was right for my physical and mental health, even if it kind of went against the grain. But the reason I identified this as part of my eclipse season is because I nitpick myself so hard to be perfect. And so you need to look outside of the box in every area of your life to figure out what areas are you nitpicking and what can you really adjust to improve your life. And it also helped me to identify this area of life because I could pinpoint my literal physical symptoms, back to recording the videos, which, the eclipse happened on my Mercury. That's a very literal take. And so I listened to my body, I listened to my brain. That was all I had to do to identify that this area of life was the focus of my eclipse. And the reason that this is the focus of my eclipse is it is the very Virgo things that are happening in my life. And I know I'm being a little redundant here, but I hope this helps. And once you figure out what your eclipse happenings are, you can move on to part 2, which can really help you to turn this pain into your power. So once you've identified the core issue, it's time to make a change. And so part 2 of this video is going to be a 2-step process kind of. And so first you are going to reframe your perspective. And so take that thing that you've been nitpicking or trying to solve, you should have written it down in some way, and find a way to see it as a gift. Don't focus on the results because it's so easy to see where you might feel like you are failing. It is part of our evolutionary, wiring to see where we are failing so we can improve. It's time to kind of go against that grain and do the opposite. And so focus on what good it brings, even if you feel like you have to do mental gymnastics to get there. And so, for example, if you find you are nitpicking something in your life, you can reframe it as, I care deeply about this thing, and that care can be a beautiful thing because you wouldn't nitpick about something you really don't care about if you think about it. Or let's say you feel stuck trying to solve a problem. You could tell yourself the fact that I'm even trying to solve this problem means that eventually I will find the solution. So I don't need to strain myself right now because you will have so many life experiences in every area of your life that will bring you to that solution. And so think of it like you're being stuck in quicksand, for example. It's kind of the struggle that drowns people, and it's the stillness and kind of the ingenuity that gets people out. And this reframing is your moment of stillness. After you've shifted your perspective, this is when the real work will happen, because the next step is to change one single thing about how you approach the situation. Just one thing. You can start small if you have to. And the goal here is to find a way that alleviates the stress, even if it it seems counterintuitive at first. And you, again, once I talked about earlier, you can look at the house that Virgo falls in your birth chart to give some hints for how this can play out, but also how you can kind of change one thing in your life to improve things. And I'll have some starter ideas on the screen that could help for every rising sign. And so look for your rising sign and see if any of these ideas kind of resonate. And if they don't, you can build off of them. And so, for instance, if you're overworking or overthinking about something, you could consciously channel that mental energy into a completely new task or a hobby. Or if you're struggling to approach connecting with others, for example, perhaps you could try to engage with new kinds of people, or even consider taking a break to reset. Or let's say you're trying to find work, you might either change your strategy to one that works smarter instead of harder, or you could reevaluate what field you want to pursue in a way that brings you the least amount of stress, so that even though you are job hunting, for example, at least you're hunting for something you would truly enjoy and you're not really focused on just paying the bills. And so even in my example, I had to think about a way to approach tasks differently too. And I strained trying to think of, new ways to record this video that I was trying to do. I made a community post that promised this video on the moon cycles, and I tried to, find ways to exercise my voice, approach things differently. And I had to let my ego go, because I knew that approaching, this with recording a 3-hour video, 2-hour video, 1-hour video, I don't know how long, but it was a long video, that was going to absolutely kill me. And so I really, had to let things go and realize, look, I just want to post something. And by being okay with posting something, then I could be ingenuity or have some ingenuity in, posting something shorter and equally as helpful. And then the new task became, okay, how can I post the shortest video with the most amount of help? And so that's where this idea came from. And so take some time to brainstorm these ideas. It will take time. You will know if an idea is right if you feel it in your chest, and your mind will become clear, because when you're anxious and your chest gets a little bit tight, you will feel that alleviate, even if it's just 1%, if an idea is on the right track. And so the feeling is a sign that the Virgo tendency for critical thinking is lowering, or that the physical manifestation of stress is beginning to alleviate. And this is not about finding the best or the most perfect solution, so don't nitpick yourself if something isn't 100%. Even I don't think this video idea is 100%. And it's kind of about finding that one solution that clears your energetic passages, because even if this isn't your ultimate path, I promise it will clear the way for the right one to appear. Because if you lower your stress with one idea that's so, then that lowered stress will almost help you find new ideas that will help you slowly improve your life and improve the way that you do things. And so if you're struggling with this, let's say you're really struggling to do this, like if you know what the eclipse has brought up, but you're not sure how to approach things differently, please leave a comment down below, because I will be so happy to help you brainstorm what this may look like for you and offer some personalized tips, just in case you're like completely stuck and don't know where to go. And when you do this work, no matter if you succeed on the first try, you may begin to shift from being an overthinker or a mental workhorse or a worrier to someone who releases the need to control and embraces their own ingenuity. And that's the real goal of this eclipse. It's not to get results. It's to really shift how you think into a way that's better or more efficient. And when used correctly, this eclipse energy offers you a chance to develop your resourcefulness. You can then take this lesson and apply it to future tasks, which I promise you from experience will still give you results. These might be results of self-forgiveness or self-love. Maybe it's not something so grand that your entire life flips upside down, but this forgiveness or self-forgiveness or self-love could start to, over time, slowly but surely, tangibly shape your life towards the one that you dream of. And it's like that thing where you might not see how high you're climbing, kind of like on a hike, you don't see how high you're climbing at first. Like, you just put one foot in front of the other, and it's when you turn around and you look at the trail behind you that you're like, oh my gosh, I've made it so far. This is kind of what this will be like. And if you don't believe me, please don't knock this tactic until you've actively tried all the steps. Give it a try, track your progress, and see how it plays out for you. And I know these steps might be ones that you kind of know that you need to take, but you don't take it. I promise you, it's just about, punching through that invisible force field and taking the steps and really like applying it to your real life, because ideas are just ideas until you put it in real life. And every week or so that you do this process, because the eclipse isn't just like, 1 or 2 weeks. This can last for months, and some people say it can even last for years. Like, eclipses are really life-changing. And so every week that you do this process, I urge you to record just one improvement you have seen week over week. Don't aim to overhaul your entire life overnight. Just aim to see any results or any small yet positive changes. And after a few weeks, you may look back and see how those tiny changes have truly begun to shape your life. That is all I had for this video. I know I kept it short or sweet, but like I said, I have my own eclipse journey. I wanted to put something out, and I really hope that this helps. And starting when I return home, I will be returning home on the 30th, although I will probably need 1 or 2 days to rest. I will really be, not only continuing my forecast videos and my tutorials, but I have a new idea on the works of another type of content I want to put out. And so that's something you have to look forward to. If that's something that excites you and you haven't liked and subscribed this video, please do so. And once again, I thank you all so much for this support. It truly means the world as my little tiny channel continues to grow. And I hope to see you in the next video.